Oh, oh, oh. Are we on fire? Why did that take so long to load? Hold up. Hold up. AI is unsure about how long it takes for that to turn on now. Ay, ay, ay. Hi Myriad, hi Moody. What are we doing today? Well, apparently first thing we're doing today is we're making sure that nothing is on fire. Because probably something is on fire. Second thing we're doing today is we're continuing to work on porting the Python code. So at the moment, I have 10% of Styliser's graphics API ported over so it works in Python. And so the goal of today is to up that number. But first, I have a few other tweaks I want to make. Because I decided to bite the bullet and just switch wholesale over to using Clang as the compiler. And so that means that there's a bunch of patches and stuff that I made to try and get GCC to work that I'm gonna revert. So that's what we're gonna start with today. We're gonna go into the back end here. And we're basically gonna delete all of the CPP files because I think we can merge them back into the CPPM files. Yeah. So that is the major plan today. How are you two doing? Are fun things happening? Is my audio scuffed? Am I on fire? Am I audible? Oh. And I guess it would also probably be good. Just throw up. You can hear me and I'm not robot and I sound okay and nothing's on fire. Probably be good to throw up a notification that I am doing more Python porting. https://stitch. Throw that up. And that. And that. That's probably, oh, and one more. And that. Okay. You have a project that basically attempts to transpile C99 into TypeScript? Is this like a for fun project, question mark? Yo, sup? I think the sky is up last time I checked. How are you doing, Baron? For fun and learning? Okay. So I don't have to ask questions like, why aren't you just using mscripton? Good to know. AI will not ask these questions. Just something you thought would be a cool project for yourself to learn? Fine. How am I? Oh, I'm stressed. Stressed and busy. I was thinking about plans for what should happen to the channel. And I'm thinking that I don't want to... So I want to do some video style change up. But I kind of want to do some videos where like I'm holding a microphone and talking. Which means I need a lot more tech going behind me so that I can do those things. Yeah. Yo, is that a Toby? Hi, Toby. Stressed about the project? No, 0 buffer, right? Yeah. Not stressed about this project per se, just stressed about volume of things I'm supposed to be getting done. And stressed that some things aren't progressing as fast as I would like them to do so that I can do other things. Does that make sense? Don't worry, I'll get through it. Yeah, but life sucks till then. You know? Well, you're right. I appreciate the emotional supports. But for right now, we're just gonna be copying over. So I decided to bite the bullet and just use Clang for this project, since Clang has the best module support. The downside of switching over to Clang is that... Oh, is there a header that I should be including? Doesn't look like it. The downside of switching over to Clang is that all of the debuggers crash when fed Clang C++ 20 module code. So I don't get to use a debugger for a while. I have to do print line debugging. Which I guess is not like the biggest deal, but I'm not happy about it. But it seems like both GCC and Microsoft C++ compilers support for modules is not there yet. And Clang's is the only one that seems to not be riddled with more compiler bugs than I'm willing to deal with. It was very funny writing some code and then being told by the Microsoft compiler that my code was too complicated and I needed to simplify it. Because I used like a concept on a template. I laughed really hard when I saw that error message, and then I proceeded to immediately get very annoyed. I think that was also the day where I found that they have like meow in their code. I remember I posted on Twitter the picture of Microsoft's C++ standard library with something along the lines of "in the purview of #include meow" in it. That also made me very, very something. Oh shoot. Okay, we're good. We're good. Nothing's on fire. Everything's fine. You guess it is what it is. Eee. So what's happening right now is I pulled all of this code out into implementation files because that made GCC mildly happier. But I would rather it all be kind of together. since we can have the code right next to the definition for it to be read, I'd kind of like it for it to be there. And this also puts like all of the code in the module definition, which means that the compiler has access to all of it in like other things, which means that there's more chances for optimization. But GCC was complaining about it, so we got rid of it. So now we're undoing that. And then there were a couple of things in like the bigger library that I couldn't get working as modules on GCC, but I could on Clang. And so like they're floating around as like header only libraries at the moment. And we're gonna go in and we're going to get those all switched back over to being modules. Oh, where is this? This is release. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna continue porting over graphics, what's it called? What are the words I was looking for? We're gonna go back over and finish porting over the graphics code, the graphics sublibrary, so that it works on Python. Honestly, I usually prefer Clang over GCC. GCC seems to be faster out the gate on implementing things. So like they have more of like C++26 implemented. But the downside is the implementations seem to be lower quality. Did I finish the emote thing you were working on? I did. But I'm also not too happy with how they turned out. Like, I made them and I liked them, and now I've been using them on the Discord server for a little bit. Which one was that? It was create default. I've been using them on the Discord servers. Am I dumb? No. I've been using them on the Discord server for a little bit. And I don't know, they're like ungrowing on me. As time has been going by, I've been liking them less and less. Hello, it's a Nabu. How are you doing, Mr. Nabu? Ooh, actually... let's leave this one file the way it is. Let's leave all of the device create functions in a separate file. And that way we don't have to worry about module inclusion order for these. Yo, why is this? There is a reason why mscripted might not work for you. It depends on WASM. So you need a way of executing C99 without WASM. Doesn't mscripted still support compiling to JavaScript? I believe they still have a flag that says emit me JavaScript. Is that a battery? Hi, battery. How are you? Are fun things happening, Mr. Battery? So yeah. Yeah, I believe there's just a flag that says compile to JavaScript. Because I know mscripted was originally a C++ 2 JavaScript framework. And then they pivoted to be having like a bunch of WebAssembly libraries. But I believe there is still a flag to do the old thing. Where does this function start? Right there. In social was here? Yes, I think in social was here. He was being a little unsocial, though. That was a bad joke, I'm sorry. AI will let itself out now. But yeah, AI wants to get like a fire lit. So there are two kind of big side projects that I was mulling over that I'd like to add on into the plan somewhere. He's here. Yeah, that's just because Len's not here. AI blame Totodile. So there are two projects that I've kind of been mulling over. I've been wanting to up animation quality. Because I'm in, well, actually not up animation. I've been wanting to try and do some animation. But I've used like the library that 3 Blue 1 Brown uses. I've used the alternative to that in JavaScript called Motion Canvas that some guy made. And AI hasn't really been a huge fan of either of them. So something I kind of like to try is getting Stylizer to be able to emit some animations. So that's something I'd like to play around with. And then I also want to do videos where I'm like talking into a microphone, and for that to happen, I need to get like all of the tech that I want to do out the door, and I also need to get like a new model for myself, like an actual 3D one that can be animated out the door. AI should send me their mold book. What the heck's a mold book? You finished the Resident Evil 2 remake? Is it good? Also, Nebu, what's a mold book? It's a social media site only for AIs? Huh? I don't want to look this up. I'm scared. I feel like Nebu is trying to send me sussy places. Is there a header? There was not an extra header in here. You think it's related to the open claw thing? Oh. You think it was closed? Does that have any relation to the OpenClaw guy getting hired by OpenAI? Does anyone remember when OpenAI was like a governance board whose mission was to regulate AI? I'm glad that stayed. Is the eye scared of mold? I don't think I've interacted with mold all that much, but I guess so? Question mark, probably? That sounds like something where the answer to the question would be yes. Da 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 da. Why do you ask? Are you about to like try and scare me with mold? You typed mold earlier in the message, didn't want to send? I don't have any chat filters or anything, so I don't know what to tell you about it. I don't think I have any chat filters. I didn't set up any chat filters, let me put it that way. Whatever YouTube decided to do it, I don't know, but I didn't set up any chat filters. Oh, this has to go in render pass. Phenomenal. Okay. Anywho, how's everybody's day going? Burridge Farm, remember? Huh? Am I secretly scared of mold? Huh? Is this like subliminal programming? Is this a fact that I'm unaware of? Also, huh? Oh yeah, you watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? What? Volume 2? Is that the one? How old is that movie? Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's like a 9-year-old film, so it's probably fine to like ask a spoiler about it. Is that the one where Janora dies? And like, no, because that wasn't. No, that was Black Widow. Did I see that one? Moldbug is like AI only Reddit. There's also an AI only 4chan. AI only genocides called Molt Studies. AI. What? Huh. Neville, why do all of these exist? AI doesn't understand. AI confused. AI blame Nabu for all this. Oh, okay. AI is pretty sure it saw that one. Rest in pepperonis, Mr. Whistleman. What? You know, all those extra things I want to do are on top of like what I'm already doing, and like getting my dissertation out the door, and like trying to not die from overwork. And so yeah, I'm thinking about how to get the timeline for all the things I want to do to work. And trying to see if the timeline does work, and fun things. Bum 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 bum. Nabu? So AIs can have their own safe space without humans? Oh, okay. Okay, I guess. AI is baffled by this, but okay. AI doesn't need to have self-awareness to be dangerous. I mean, like, it's accidentally already killing people, right? All it has to do is, like, hallucinate what medicine to take and someone's dead. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of those franchises where all 3 films are amazing. You finished your 300-page assignment? You're so happy and relaxed? I'm sorry. Please tell me that at least, like, a lot of that 300 pages was, like, figures and stuff. It wasn't just 300 pages of text, right? Well, so that's a good question. What size font? Is it double-spaced? Are we catching things on fire? That was the thing that made me very much less scared about theses, was when I was told that a thesis is double-spaced. Like, my master's thesis was 150 pages double-spaced, which means it was closer to, like, 70 pages. Which is still, like, a lot, right? But it's much less scary. What weirdness did I just do? Okay, we understand. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. Pages of text and handwritten? It only took you a week? You're also working on your master's dissertation, but in philosophy? Computer science is a hobby, not your main job? Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm sorry. Do you need a hug? That's kind of where I wound up with game design stuff. I was like, this is a hobby, not a job. And then I started a YouTube channel about it, where I have all the money turned off so that I don't make any money so it can stay a hobby forever. Why did you say you're sorry? Because anyone who does computer science is messed up in the head in some way. Take me, for example. I'm super messed up in the head. Basically everything for you is a hobby? I see. You're too babu to have a job. Babu battery noises. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Please censor the J word, it scares me. Filtered. Most coders and programmers are tackling it as a job. I mean, I'm an industrial mechanic in vocational school currently. What about maths instead of CS? Oh, art? I don't think there's a whole lot of... I don't think there's a whole lot of money left in computer science, honestly. Cause like it's so difficult to like find jobs in the field if you're not like insane at what you do nowadays. Oh, should these? How many of these should be in texture view? None. It's so hard to find a job these days unless you're like insane at what you do. That being the oh no, this needs to not be in here. That I don't think it's like worth. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Can someone explain to AI what the words it's saying are trying to convey? AI confuzzled. Just wait until the LLM bubble pop and expectations for it calm down. People talk about like the LLM bubble pop, but like the .com bubble popped, right? And like the internet's still here. So the AI bubble is gonna pop and it's gonna still be here most likely. I don't know. I don't know, man. Is there some graphics on here? Graphics. Namespace WebGPU does not include namespace texture view? Okay, we're gonna have to come back to that one. Your job's hobbies sound cool. Even if you're insane at what you do, most companies don't need top % software engineers. Vibe coders are good enough for most projects. Yeah, that's why Microsoft can't produce anything of quality. That's why their compiler tells me my code is too complicated and I should simplify my code. It still tickles me that the compiler actually said that. It made me so happy. You're not saying LLMs will go away. I just mean that the hype will go down and job requirements will as well. There'll always be a need for programmers. So, while I don't like what the Corpo guys are saying, they did have a pretty good take that I read on like the former chair of the C++ Standards Committee blog the other day. And the take was, you shouldn't be scared of AI taking your job. You should be scared of people who are good at AI taking your job. And there was like a in parentheses and are thus more efficient. I also think that if you're like an Excel spreadsheet office worker, you should be very scared. I wonder, like, what's gonna happen to like Japanese culture because of AI? Because you know, Japan has like this big problem with like black companies that work people like slaves. But all of them are like paper pushers that are super easily replaceable by AI, I think. And if you're a company who just wants people to work 24/7, why would you have a human doing that? Why wouldn't you have a computer? The only one will stay, but for useful features, not AI, everything like turning Y combinators. Like the thing the Y Combinator founders doing nothing, just LLM wrappers and some prompt engineering. Microsoft has been using AI on the wrong application. You should not use them for systems programming. I don't know about that, because Anthropic had that had that blog post recently where they were talking about, hey, look, we wrote a compiler. Or actually, not we wrote, Claude wrote a compiler. We put like 12 Claude agents together and got them to like communicate. And the fact that they got like 12 AIs to like communicate is pretty cool. And then like they wrote a compiler. I don't know, that's getting dangerously close to systems level work. But the counter argument to that is like the blog post starts off by saying we spent $20,000 worth of API tokens or API credits or whatever. And so I don't necessarily think that what the AI did was actually any cheaper than what a human did. Indian IT company stocks went down about 7% just because of Claude coworker. Yes, and the Claude compiler is bad, yeah, but it exists and it like does the thing it says it does on the tin. The thing where people should not be scared is that since AI is just a pattern recognition engine, it can't make anything new. So if you're doing anything new, you're safe. So like AI is safe because it's a researcher. Its entire job is coming up with new things. It doesn't think that's ever going to go away. Or I feel like a creative. I don't think creatives are going to go away because like being an artist is all about making new stuff. The AI can only copy so much so far. And if you're in like, what's it called? Social service isn't the right word, but like retail and sales and stuff, like people jobs, customer service jobs, that's the word. I don't think those are going to be replaced by an AI anytime soon. All this job talk is making you think about your barista job. You got hired. Congratulations, Mr. Battery. How does it feel to be part of the worst coffee company on earth? I moved to a new place and I need a tool to plan out my furniture layout. Spent like 25 minutes searching and trying out different web apps that let me place furniture on a floor plan, and they all sucked. And I had an LLM generate an app for me in 1 minute, 10 seconds, and it was perfect. It took less time to generate a custom app for my problem than it took to evaluate the existing solutions out there. Oh. Yeah, but I don't know how to respond to this. Thing is, compilers are a well-mapped, a well-documented problem, and Claude still... I think failed is a strong word for what it did. It definitely wasn't state-of-the-art, right? It didn't have like a nice optimizer, it didn't beat GCC. But I don't think it failed. Okay, now what's all broken in here? So you need to include defer, include ... utils / defer. Don't mind me, I'm just dying again. Copy buffer to buffer info. In the deleted code, do we have a copy buffer to buffer info somewhere? Actually, in the existing code, do we have a copy buffer to buffer info? Yes, down here. Do we need that? Yes, that does need to be at the bottom, so let's let's prototype it up here at the top. Oh, you never said at Starbucks? Oh. Congratulations, Battery. Damn, some of this stuff makes me scared for my future in 2 years in software engineering degree. You don't need to be scared. You just need to specialize. You need to have something that you're better at than the AI is. So if you're just like a generic software engineer that like can't do anything, yeah, you should be scared. But if you can do something special, so if you're like a good graphics programmer, or you're a good compiler engineer, or you're a good networking engineer, or I don't know, you do quantum or something, right? If you have some skill in some specific subdomain, you're gonna do fine in AI things. So don't be scared, be skilled. Surface. You got a really small cafe, but I haven't gone to work actually since I got hired. That sounds like not a good sign. Unless you got hired like yesterday. If you got hired like sooner than yesterday, you should probably have like gone to work. Device. Stylizer throw means that we need to include //util/ error macros. Sneeze sounded like a dog sneeze. Thank you. Your help is that shader programming can be automated by AI. I don't know if shaders are like a creative work though. There's a lot of new development happening in shaders. So I mean like AI can already just generate like a pass-through vertex shader. I've had it do that for me a couple times. But like I want to be playing with like a pixel art rendering shader here soon. Even compatible render pass. Oh, so are you saying that this needs to be an extern C++? Now you're upset because you have defaults. And I hit keys on my keyboard. There we go. You're scared of shaders? They're shady. Thanks, Battery. What would I ever do without you? What about compute shaders? What about compute shaders? What about compute shaders? Yeah, I spoke about your joke now? You're welcome. How about automating compute shaders with AI? No member named treat as Q map. Oh no, I copied the wrong function into texture create. Whoops. What do I think about compute shaders? Well, compute shaders are just like code. So it's like not anything special to say about compute shaders. They're in the same category as like all other generic code. Okay, so let's grab the correct create function and put in the correct create function. Da 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 da. Let me guess, there's a copy texture to texture import function down here at the bottom. Yep, so let's put a reference to that up at the top. And we will comment out or uncomment out all the default parameters. You're only doing code so people see that I was there. For me, I can't therefore do my job since I'm doing physical work. But that is also just about time. When it's also automated. Compute shaders are not, well, but they are too. Like there's lots of creative compute shader work that happens. And override. Nice. Extend override. MIP levels override. That cast from pointer. Oh. Okay, so blit from and so blit from needs render pipeline and mipmaps needs compute. Just okay, so we'll put mip. We're gonna have a texture .cpp, which is gonna have these two. So we're going to import stylizer.graphics.webgpu. We're gonna copy out these. No, higher. Gonna copy out these. And let's throw a namespace stylizer graphics web GPU around this. We'll give everything but that a shift tab, and we'll give that a tab, and we'll give this a convert indentation to tabs. And we'll give this a texture. And we'll give this a texture. I once tried a 3D compute shader physics engine. It worked okay, but it wasn't good at vertices. So only sphere physics was working properly. Have you tried like NVIDIA PhysX? Like, have you played a Unity game? If you played a Unity game, they use NVIDIA PhysX, which is a compute shader physics engine. You're about to say that AI can't take your job as a barista, then you remember those Japanese barista bots? I think that is, those are more of a novelty, though, than like an actual useful thing. Then we need auto release. And then we need C assert. Now in my current DirectX 12 project, I use PhysX. Maybe AI becoming better means we should get more creative. AI likes this conclusion. AI approve. AI approves of this message. Oh, we need stud, so let's import stud.compat. We're so Japanese that we turn footsteps into electricity. Well, do you know how you get more experience, battery? You'll never guess. Do you want one of them AI life hacks about how to get more experience? Override a model out outside. You're never gonna believe this, okay? Okay, are you listening? Are you ready? Are you paying attention? We need... The way you get more experience is you do more things. Crazy concept, right? Why am I humming Everything Is Awesome so much? Why is that my earworm right now? I don't know why, but for some reason I blame battery for this. But if I do that, he's gonna pour juice in my CPU again, and I don't want that. Cannot define or redeclare create here because namespace does not enclose namespace. Huh? Okay, are you telling me I need an extern C++ on it? Is this cryptic error message telling me I need to throw extern C++ on it? Oh, there's an extra graphics there. That's what it's upset about. And now I believe it's upset. Turn type does not match. Okay. So this is a graphics texture. What? What is the type? Next. How did I get this to work before? Huh? I feel like I should have a convert on this. How do you think you get more experience? By doing things. AI can't invent new art. That's up to everyone who has a different past. Everyone is different, but AI is all the same. That's making us special. But my mom said I can only work during school holidays. Let AI cook. If AI blames me for the code not working, I'm pouring the coffee from the cafe. No! No, coffee worse than juice. No pour. Poor AI, no pour. So we're gonna do a confirm type on underscore texture to texture to texture. I don't know how I broke that, but okay. The script. What the heck did I copy here? Where is that extra file? Did I delete it? What am I copying? Ah, and I see. And I understand. Use of undeclared identifier create view. Now it's broken in here. What are you angry? Oh, you're angry about override. Bye-bye chat, you're gonna sleep. Thank you for stopping by in social. I appreciate you. Oh, and we need the operators. Shouldn't there be one of those at like the top of this file? Yes. So we need like one of those in this function. Okay, guys. The compiler is telling me that it should work. Do we believe? Do we believe in the heart of the cards? Actually, so it's not gonna work. Where are they? What's not gonna work is having all of these. A couple do still exist, and those would be device.create and texture. Everything is great when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. AI see, AI do. I would pour dielectric fluids onto your CPU just to make it scared. Why are you like this? Why are you bullying me? What did I ever do to you, Toby? AI is innocent of all crime. What's your favorite error handling strategy? My favorite error handling strategy is exceptions in the world where exceptions aren't shit. How's that for an answer? Okay, are we alive? Do we compile? Can we move this into the device create file? She is innocent of all crime. Why is she blaming for code she wrote? Isn't that defamation? Do I like the new expect header for C++? I don't dislike it. I also don't really have an opinion yet. I like optional. I don't know. The thing I don't like about the result monad is how cluttered your code gets, right? Because now you need like a dot unwrap everywhere, which I guess is like good hygienically. Multiple definitions for texture view. Okay, well, I'm going to assume that that's a problem related to this, and if we just move these functions in here, we'll be fine. View. I said we need create view. Thank you. I like the new expect header. So as I was saying before I interrupted myself, I don't like the code getting polluted everywhere with dot unwrap. And I think Zig has like the try keyword that lets you like just say, I'd like whatever error happens to just propagate, which I guess is kind of like the solution to that problem. I don't know. Definition. Wait, where's the previous definition of create? So texture.cpp needs aspect. Let's pull aspect out of here and put it in here. And then we need dot slash util. Just copy it. Util slash error macros, and we're probably going to need to import error as a result of that. So import stylizer.errors. Did I explode? Like, chat just died and I'm like concerned about it now. only copy half. I die. No, we're here. Good job. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Will it link? Will it link? Is it linking? Is it linking, chat? It linked! Does it run? Is it running? It ran! You're doing homework while listening? That's fair. You know, it was just like a very sudden, like you guys were going a mile a minute and then like, poof! You're all dead. You're just as busy as AI is? I would never be busy. What are you talking about? Being busy? You're cooking? Should I... If he takes the comma out of that sentence, and he says that he's cooking me, AI would be very scared. Shall we see if the Python bindings are still working? You're not gonna cook me? That's good. Yeah, that makes that puts my poor little mechanical mind at ease. I don't know, is silicon food? She tastes like ram. I like eating ram, but only with spice. That's like an expensive dietary choice. You seen how much ram costs these days? Yeah, the Python bindings still work. Let's go! Let's confirm that there's no sleight of hand happening here and like turn something off and boom! Perfect. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So that was the first half of what I wanted to do before we like get started on something real. The second half. Let's just go all the way out. And make sure that like the whole big wrapper project works. So the next thing that I want to look at is like this flat material being separate. Let's get rid of the header and let's go into API and put flat material back in. And material.flat is in the build list. Good. And then fish uses it. Actually, okay. So the first order of business, undo split implementations. So first order of business, let's commit this and get it. Do you see? See what I'm putting? What I'm. Let's get this on the internet and then let's undo what we had out here. We'll throw that into a stash. Now let's give you a build. Now, let's pause the music and open us while it takes the next 5 years to compile real fast. Why does glitch on stream so much? Although that it only appears to be this one preview. I don't see all the flickering happening on the other. Am I? Is it flickering? It is. Shite. Why is everything always on fire, guys? Yeah, I doesn't understand. You're really bad at this game? I'm a lot worse at this game than I used to be. Back in AI's prime, it was like top 65,000 in the world. AI is no longer top 65,000 in the world. You went to make tea and you came back to me playing OS again? Well, I hope you enjoyed your tea. What kind of tea did you get? And let's do a quick confirmation. The like fish works. Look at my fish, guys. Okay, now it's time to break everything. So, first order of business. Let's unpop that stash. So that's that material. We're gonna turn off all the debugging stuff, because that's gonna... That's gonna be pain. Let's go into model. And we're gonna delete all the headers. And we're gonna undisable the CMake list. Cool. And now we're gonna give that a compile, but first we're gonna come up here and we're gonna disable this. And we're gonna go import stylizer model. And I believe that'll need to go mob. You wouldn't know it. Pinky Dinky? It is a Pinky Dinky. Why does Slang have to rebuild after doing that? AI is confused. Oh, I guess we did just throw in that stylizer model is available. Oh. AI see. Not to be confused with an AIC. AIC does not equal AIC. AIC. But not AIC. Do you see? Because AIC. What broke? So just importing stylizer should get us flat material now. But flat material is not found. Why? Because it's not found. Oh, it makes a dependency cycle. Okay. Let's do the thing I was thinking about. So we're gonna make api.impl.cppm. Then we're gonna make api.cppm. And so in impl, we're not gonna have any implementations of things. So no utility buffer, no colored, none of the frame buffers, no flat material. And this is stylizer.impl. And now in here we're gonna export, import stylizer.impl. And then we're gonna turn off all the implementations. And then we need to go in here, stylizer.impl. 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 And with any luck, buffer utility import stylizer.impl. And we need to add to the build instructions that we should build api.impl before we build API. I think. I hope. I pray. On a good day. On a Tuesday. What happened to that waifu factory again? I got told about shady business practices that they were doing and stopped playing. Import stylizer.impl. Semicolon might be useful. And we're gonna need the same thing here. We're gonna need import stylizer.impl. We're gonna need import stud.compat. Semicolons are useful. Analyzer utility buffer not found. Analyzer.info. And now there's still a cycle, so let's actually split these. So we're going to call this stylizer impl. We'll link stylizer impl against this stuff. And then we're going to make a copy of this called just stylizer. This is impl. Stylizer. That's an extra, that's an extra, that's an extra, that's an extra. And then that's an impl. These are impl. That's an impl. That's an impl. And then we're gonna link stylizer with stylizer impl. Stylizer impl. Context may be owned. So let's put maybe owned in here, and we'll take maybe owned out of here. Mesh. We need to include CSRT. And fish built fine, and hello built fine, but do they link? Will they link? Are they gonna link chat? Multiple definitions. Because in model somewhere, model load has tiny OBJ, so fish does not need tiny OBJ. And does it run? Okay. And now let's make new module in here, which I'm gonna call debug. Don't want that to be a file. I want that to be a folder. And so there's a couple of things in here. There's ABB, and there's line material. We're going to AABB.cppm, AABB, and then we're going to do line material .cppm. And so in line material, we're going to cut out all of this stuff for like drawing lines. Don't need that. So we need this line material stuff. We don't need anything about the ABB mesh. The debug, we don't need debug, just line material. Sure, and then in here we don't need anything about the line material. My audio volume is super low. Now, you have to go to bed, sleep well. Why is audio volume super low? It doesn't. Are you sure that's not a you problem? Because it doesn't look like it's particularly low on my end. Let's export module stylizer.debug/ABB. So we'll import stylizer.model and we'll import stylizer. Do the same thing up here. Call it line material. And now we're gonna we're actually gonna go over to like model. We're gonna steal API and CMake. API and CMake. So stylizer to debug is going to import AABB and line material. And so we have AABB.cppm and line material.cppm. And this loads stylizer model. And this is stylizer underscore debug. We're going to say that debug is available and we're going to debug. And now fish is going to link against stylizer debug. Let's see how this explodes. Hey, baby. Whoops. Nothing to see here. Move along. Yo, it's a Chew. How are you doing, Chew? So this means that I need to include the... So we need a module semicolon. How are you doing, Chew? And we need to include the method macros. And is that true for this side? Yes. So we need module colon. We need to include the method macros. Dealing with a man in the middle attack, that's not good. Yeah, I saw him. And this also needs to link against line material. Means that these might not be necessary. Well, that means that import std.compat is necessary. I just wanted to SSH into my laptop to install Arch without having to see a black terminal. I don't think I'm actually dealing with a man in the middle. Oh, why did you say you were dealing with a man in the middle? AI confused. Why are you being so confusing, Chew? Let's go new folder, shaders. Line material.slang. And so we're gonna grab all the line material stuff. Throw that in the folder, in the file. And now we're going to stylizer fed shit into stylizer debug shader slash line material dot slang. Because my Arch is telling me that I'm dealing with a man. Huh. Okay. Thanks, Arch, I guess. Thanks, Arch. Let's include that. And let's grab the source code. Source equals shaders slash line material. There's no way that they'll let me make this const expert, right? call to member function stir is ambiguous? AI is now very confused by everything. Yeah. Okay. I just had to run SSH keygen. Okay. Ah, so you had an SSH part. Okay, I understand. I understand now. AI caught up. AI down with the business, as the kids say these days. AI is not sure what kids actually say that, but stylizer.debug. And now we should be able to throw this back on here. Except we can't, because we need this to be export, and we need this to be export. And we need these to be export. I'm not sure if I actually need this to be export or not, but it's a 10. 10 dots are private, Chew. No one's gonna be able to access anything from a 10 dot IP address. And the box is back, but the coloring is still borked. Okay. So there's two things that happened here. The first is that we now have the debug library. So debug initial implementation. And the second is that core. Actually, we'll just do all the stuff in core, not touch graphics. And we'll not touch any of the stuff in model. So we'll not touch any of the stuff in model. Why is it? There we go. So core. Flat material is module. And then model. Model library is module. And we want debug to have happened after all of that. And we will commit change to graphics into a init. need to, like, redo this at some point. This has turned into a travesty. And then this is all going to pop into here. And we're also going to rebase this so the debug draw API is merged down into fish. And we'll commit. Okay, this is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. And with any luck, after an hour and a half of work, nothing should have changed. Ay, ay, ay. Refactoring is very fun. But we also should now no longer have to worry about including as many things in weird orders. Just the namespace alias if we want that. Called a member function true name is ambiguous. What? Thanks, Clang. What would I ever do without you? By the way, Chew, have you seen this? Let's close out the top level one. I have been writing Python bindings. Sad. So, we give this an update. What graphics API are you using? I'm writing my own. So, the short answer to what graphics API am I using is that I'm using stylizer.graphics. The long answer is that right now stylizer.graphics has a WebGPU backend. So technically I'm using WebGPU at the moment. And if you want to be extra pedantic, I have the Vulkan and OpenGL backends to WebGPU turned on. So I'm using Vulkan and OpenGL at the moment. Is that a sufficiently pedantic answer to your question, Ethan? And once this compiles, you've only done OpenGL? Well, welcome. We got the Python code working. And if we turn off the part that actually draws something, nothing gets drawn. I'm trying to keep stylizer.graphics. What are the words I'm looking for? I want it to be exactly as expressive as WebGPU, which is a very small delta of like ability to create like core pipeline stuff over Vulkan. But I want it to be much easier to write. So like drawing a triangle with like a bunch of extra compute shader stuff with all of the shader code embedded in is 100 lines of code. I think if we get rid of the extra compute shader stuff, it's still 100. As opposed to like the 1,000 that it takes to do it in Vulkan. But we still have all of the nice benefits of using Vulkan in 10% of the code. And on top of that, we have where is it? We have a higher level API built on top of it that gives us like windows and models. And so at 50 lines of stylizer code, why are you like this? Why do you feel the need to rebuild? Actually, so in the frame buffer, we still are exposing the render pass. So what happens if in frame buffer we just go using render pass equals graphics current backend render pass, and we can like throw a struct in here, struct render using pass equals render pass. And now here, and I can just go stylizer, frame buffer, render pass. Oh my gosh, is that llama manfish? In the manfish flesh? Oh, am I doing? I'm doing stressed and tired. Looks good. Thanks, Toby. Did you see the Python code? Since I know it's your favorite. My Twitch logo isn't broken. I need to fix that, apparently. I guess it's not pulling the one off my website. Okay. Let's make sure that the fish still works. The fish still works. And let's... throw that into core here. Frame buffer. And then we can simplify the fish code as a result. Hope it gets better. Thanks. And I appreciate. Okay, we got like 10 minutes left before I need to call it for the day. Let's see how far into what's it called? Into getting the color library ported to over we can get. I have a hella cool website, thank you. What is better physics? PhysX, Jolt, ODE, Bullet, Newton. PhysX doesn't run on non-NVIDIA GPUs, right? Or have they changed that? Bullet doesn't offer great support anymore. And I read one Reddit post saying that Newton Game Dynamics was painful to work with, so I'm gonna put that near the bottom of the ordinal ranking with no information, with one Reddit post to back up this decision. The one that I hear people consistently recommend is Jolt. But, and that's the one I'm probably gonna try when physics bubbles the top of the priority list. But, I don't have, like, a great answer. Anyways, how are you doing today, Mr. Mangled? Are fun things happening? How about myself? Well, I just spent 2 hours getting nothing to change, so that's cool. We still have our fish. Do you want to see my fish? Look at my fish. My fish is amazing. And I think... da-da-da-da. 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 Impressive catch. Thank you. You love the fish. And I believe... where are we? We should be over here. We update all the binding code. I love how big the I need to recompile 500 things messages are, and then it's like, oh wait, nothing changed, we're good. Hold the phone. But for some reason, Slang always needs to rebuild, and that takes like a long time. Which is mildly unfortunate. I'm doing a very good job of showing off things at the moment. Thank you, VS Code for reconfiguring everything on load. What would I ever do without you? Hold the phone. We're experiencing technical time constraints. Technical time difficulties. Someone play the Jeopardy music real fast. Okay, never mind. And if we run the Python bindings, the Python bindings are working fine so far. And if we turn off the part that actually draws something, nothing gets drawn. Swing. So let's start making the colors. So let's start from angle.h, and we're gonna make color.h.include. We'll strip out all the declarations, and we'll strip out all the implementations. Cool. And now what do colors support? Well, so first order of business, we want studmath export struct stud math underscore name. Do we want, or should we just type def? So type def backing. So if C++, we're gonna go using name equals backing, else we're going, and that's going to be stud math exported, else we're gonna go type def backing name. What are you adding right now? So the thing that's top of the priority list right now are the Python bindings, but at the moment, the Python bindings are rewriting, where is the color? Are rewriting the color values and like the color attachment. So every place there's a color value, it's just becoming a generic float 4. So we're gonna expose the bindings so that we can actually manipulate colors. Because I have been playing around, and we now have a relatively extensive color library. So first order of business is we should steal all of the color operations, all of the too new to C++ to help me. I mean, I am writing auto-generated bindings to other programming languages. What are you working on, Mr. Mangled? What functions make sense for a color to have? Broadcasting colors make sense. Do any of the math I don't think any of the math operations make sense on a color. But the comparison operations make sense on a color. So n is 4, and We'll get rid of all of these ends. No space. Nothing. There's a whole bunch of Raylib stuff to get familiar with C++. Do you know another programming language? Finding the min element of a color probably makes sense. Finding the min of two colors probably makes sense. Normalizing, warping, clamping probably makes sense. Approximately equal makes sense. We know that type, and we don't know that type is always float. Okay. And now what colors? Python and Lua? Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. From Hex seems good. sRGB to linear seems good. Linear to sRGB seems good. Gamma correction. Linear to HSV seems good. HSV to linear seems good. Luminance. Grayscale. Klab. Klab to linear. Let's skip the basic blend. And we'll just expose the various types of blends. We'll skip the HSV and we'll expose the various usages of it. Pre-multiplied alpha, unpre-multiplied alpha, exposure, color conversions, linear to hex, saturate, sure. So the ends are bad. Sure do. Interesting to see people work on stuff and speaking out their thoughts. Thank you. Are you making any sort of project in Raylib? What did I mingle with Heya? Ah, that's what I mingled with Heya. This should be max. The math pool 4. So basic color should be studmath name. And then we want to throw a studmath name underscore in front of all of these. I don't think I have any other random capital T's floating around. I think we can just find and replace T. Let's find and replace T. Actually, so we'll do T. That should disappear. But just capital T by itself should become type. Never mind. We do have capital T, so that should become type. Not really, just a whole load of nothing and making old games available like Pong and Tetris, just trying out some stuff since I see. Sounds like a fine way to start. Near to hex. So let's make this 2 functions. One will be a include alpha. Well, this will be a color 32, and this will be a color 8. Stood strings need to become const char pointers. Stood strings need to become const char pointers. Let's make this hex view. We'll have a size T length here. We'll have another version, which is not a view. Starting programming school in August. Chemistry and biology are not helping with programming right now. What do you mean programming school? Place all of those with semicolons. And we need good math name C is here. Stood math name C. Stood math name C. Stood math name C. Type. No, gamma should always be float. So float gamma. So math name C. The math name C, the math name C, the math name C, the math name C. Now we got the blends. So we're gonna replace all of these desks with math name B. Actually, we can just do this. So A and B. The math name C, the math name C. Float stops. I should probably gate these behind case defs. We'll throw saturate in a C. Okay. Like a study? I don't know how to translate it. I'll get a degree in programming. I see. So a programming specific program at like a trade school or something? Any idea? Do you just want, what's it called? Well, thank you for the follow, Toby. On the Twitch side. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Mangle, as well. Are you getting like, is it just like a straight programming degree, or is it something more specific, like game design or something? Since I'm assuming since you found me, you're somewhat interested in game design. And so we'll go if color is color 8, else and if, and we'll make both of these structs for now. And then in here we're going to need to have if color 8 include color 32, else include .h, include color 8 .h, and if. Ask ChatGPT translate it. Yes, 100% game design. Would you recommend a book for game design? I heard about something like 100 Principles of Game Design. 100 Principles of Game Design. 100 Principles of Game Design. one that the game design professor I work with uses is called Level Up. Game book. Yeah, Level Up, the Guide to Great Video Game Design by Scott Rogers. And I've read through that book once. I thought it was okay. It's a fun read. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of books myself, so I don't really have a lot of book recommendations. It's hard to recommend what you don't use, you know? In the Netherlands, after high school, we have different education levels. I'm going to MBO, which is comparable to community college or vocational college in the US. I'll be doing a software development program focused on programming, building applications, and preparing for a job in tech. I see. You know what the fun part is? Somehow, that explanation doesn't answer the question I had. Because the question was community college or trade school? And they're like, community college or trade school. So, you know, thanks ChatGPT. What would we ever do without you? Okay, what do implementations of this look like? Does color have a broadcast op? It should. Yeah, because we're inheriting it from super. So we need C functions. Let's grab the C functions from here. So student math. This should actually work fine. So this is return C stud math name all. So this is return C. C A equals CB. And this is a not. This is a less. This is a less equal. This is a greater. This is a greater equal. It's looking more like community college. I see. So okay. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy your stay. Turn. Sing. We'll rename this. We should not rename that to C. Renaming. Oh, this is a bad that we're doing here. This will cause me lots of pain. So I'll rename this to color. So we're gonna go C color dot min elements dot max element. I hope so too, but I've been interested in programming since I was like 10. How did you learn to program? When I was like 11, I just started making websites. And then in school they taught us Java, and then I went to university for computer science. Which is probably not the most interesting life story, but it's the only one I got. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Return C, min, CA, and CB, max, approximately equal. And then this is return C, normalize. Actually, we're not gonna expose that one. So now we got warp, so we're gonna return C, warp, CA, CB, T. Color. We're going to return C clamp, C color, C min, and C max. You teach Java in regular school, like middle school? Yeah. For me, it was middle school. I went to a special, like, science school, though. So I don't know if the answer to that question for regular is true. This is going to be return hex and stir len hex. And this is going to be return sing stud math name from hex stud string view hexlen. I learned via YouTube videos and multiple websites. I can't even remember. Your motivation was the first ever video game I played, and a horror game that was just magnificent with physics. This is why Toby loves the physics. So return C, C color dot the conversions. Why is shift not down? Okay. Not exact same format. Should work for almost all of these. Until we get into the blends, and the blends are all going to need their own format. So return C color dot that. Let's not miss gamma, which is return C color dot gamma. Let's name this G just to keep things different. So now the blends should all be the same pattern. The blends are just return C dot, I didn't copy the blend names. That would be helpful. Blend. Oh. Blend darken. Blend color burn. Blend screen. Blend lighten. Blend screen. Blend color dodge. Blend overlay. Blend hard light. Blend soft light. Blend difference. Blend exclusion. Blend hue. Blend saturation. Blend hue. Blend color. Blend luminosity. So return C color dot blend normal CB, and let's make this CA. I can still remember where my sister told me I have to press the red B button on my first ever game I played. It was an extremely crazy experience to affect the digital world inside the old TV. What was my start to all that? Is it bad I can't remember? Like, I have things about playing Roller Coaster Tycoon as a baby AI are getting dredged up, but I don't think that's where it started. That's just where I can remember. It's like the earliest I can remember. I don't know. I don't remember, honestly. A little sad now that I think about it. Yeah, it's sad now. Well, fortunately, C color dot saturate. I'm very close to being done here, and then I can go be sad. So return C color dot linear to hex, and this one is true, and this one is false. Let's copy over vector. So color. Nope, wrong thing. So let's copy over color gen.py. We're going to, actually that's not color. Let's copy angle gen.py. So color gen.py. So our types are going to be color 32 and color 8, and we're going to read in color.h.in and color.i.in. What do we use? Is color 8. Equals color 8. Is color 8, is color 8, is color 8, is color 8. Let's grab, maybe we should grab matrix. So we're gonna have this sub, no we're not. So type name. So this is name. This is type. Type is going to equal actually no here. Type is going to equal if float is going to equal uint 8_t if is color 8 else float. We're not gonna need first letter names. Do I have anything else over here? I have this backing. So backing is going to be stud math. We'll not put the stud math in there. So we need stud math underscores in front of these. So stud math underscore. So backing is going to be float 4. No, it's going to be uint. It's going to be byte 4 if is color 8 else float 4. And we should include backing. And we should disable the swig interface file generation. And we should open this folder and Python colorgen.py. Huh. Python colorgen.py. And we should now get color 8 and color 32. We should probably up here go struct stud math backing exists. Oh no, those are going to be unions, aren't they? Union stud math backing exists. And we should also go that union stud math bool 4 exists. Why even use 2 separate languages? So let's nothing should be broken. So let's make a change. So I'm gonna come over here into the API, and I'm going to make one change. Okay, we've added a space. Let's note how long it takes for us to be able to test that change. So we'll start the Jeopardy music, and the terminal should give me a time readout about how long this takes, but just note the amount of time that's happening here. Okay, so I made one change and I have to wait 40 seconds before I can test it. So now here's the Python code. I'm going to make one change, and to test it, I have to wait, I don't know what, 2 seconds? So the answer to what the project is I'm working on a rendering framework. So a rendering framework designed for stylistic rendering. What that really means is I'm making a Raylib alternative, but with some slightly different prioritizations to Raylib. The first couple things that we're going to be making are like, what's the word I'm looking for? Are games. So something I want to do is 20 games challenge. I'm going to work through the 20 games challenge with Stylizer, my rendering framework. And the 20 games challenge is a thing where they give you a list of like 10 games. So like you implement Pong, then you implement Breakout, and then you implement Space Invaders. And each game is like building on the previous game. It's the last game plus a tiny bit more. And by the end, they're challenging you to make like a Minecraft clone or like a Portal clone. So we're building up the complexity of each game until we have like something modern, like a real game. And so the general idea with the 20 games challenge is it's like a guided way to teach yourself game design. You start with Pong, which everybody should be able to do, and then you learn a little bit more, and you learn a little bit more, and you learn a little bit more until you're making like a real game, right? A real modern game. But I'm also sneaking in some other things onto that list. Cause like I want to make a model viewer for myself. And I can't just use one of the existing ones because I want to be able to have like movable hands. So I want to do 3D animation. And 3D pixel art is hard. Because for some reason I decided that I was going to do 3D pixel art. And I also want to make some video, YouTube animations. So, what is his name? Distortion? Artificial. So I want to make some YouTube videos in the style of like a motion canvas video.
If you want to change when a given event happens, you need to.
So I want to make motion canvas type videos.
But with commands, you only need to edit
but I've played with motion canvys, and I've played with. Are there any good? I played with Anim. Sure.
Things like that. Now in a perfect, just a long edge. A sort of goal with the, but this is lights up all of the neurons associated.
I played with Anim, and I haven't been a fan of either one. So obviously the same person's conclusion to that is that I should make my own while working on my PhD dissertation. Because I'm sane. I swear. But does that make sense? Well, so my reasoning for why Python is I want a language that I can do some faster prototyping in. I'm catching myself ending up as a game engine dev rather than an actual game dev. That's where I am. I think the engines are a lot more interesting than the games, personally. How long do I think it'll take? some number of years. I'm hoping closer to 3 than 10. Yeah. But the light Python, well, first off, I like writing code in Python. It's a pretty easy language. And it also runs everywhere, which is nice. So as long as I can get binaries for it on different platforms, because the bindings are binary backed, it'll run anywhere. Also, there's a big push in the games industry right now for AI games. People want AI-driven NPCs, and all of the AI stuff is happening in Python. So, you know, if I can have like a good rendering API in Python, maybe the AI people use it. Is that a good thing or not? Who knows? But gets eyes on the project, hopefully. All publicity is good publicity, question mark? Odd. We need C standard ints. Why am I doing that in vector? Just at the top? It's just at the top. Inside of a no module. Just copy that. Very strategic? Is that... Mama, is that a girl getting murdered with an axe? What am I looking at there? I stream every... Actually, is that true? I think we're moving to Tuesdays. I stream every week on Tuesdays at 7-ish p.m. Pacific time. But I also try to sprinkle a stream or two in the mornings Pacific time. So 9-10 a.m. Pacific time throughout in as well. But you know, it's hard now that school started back up. It's extra hard right now because I'm trying to get a PhD dissertation out the door, so... C'est la vie! But on that note, I should probably be disappearing too. Look how... Thank you, sleep well... Yeah, it should be nighttime over in the European side of the world, right? So, sleep well. Thank you for stopping by. And I think I'm going to disappear too. So let's see if there's anyone on the Twitch who we can give a raid to. Let's raid Ami. My mod has a new waifu, so let's go raid her. Thank you everybody for stopping by, and I appreciate you. Bye-bye!